8 UK ready meals you should never buy again. Opening hook, first 60 to 90 seconds, it's 7:45 p.m. You've just got home from work. You're tired. You're hungry. You open the fridge, stare inside for 5 seconds, and think, forget it. I'll just grab a ready meal. We've all done it. In the UK, ready meals are a weekly staple. From busy professionals in London flats to families in Manchester, from students in Birmingham halls to pensioners in Leeds, millions of us rely on them. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all ready meals are what they seem. Some are packed with shocking levels of salt. Some are loaded with hidden sugars. Some look nothing like the picture on the box. And some, well, some should simply never make it into your trolley again. Tonight, we're breaking down 8 UK ready meals you should never buy again, based on ingredients, value, nutrition, and real customer experiences. Let's begin. 1. The too good to be true budget lasagna. You've seen it. That suspiciously cheap lasagna sitting in the chilled aisle. £1.75. Big portion. Looks generous on the box. Melted cheese. Thick meat sauce. But when you get it home, the top layer is mostly oil. The meat layer feels thin. And somehow it tastes both watery and salty at the same time. Budget supermarket lasagnas, especially from ultra-low price ranges, often bulk up the meat with fillers. Breadcrumbs. Soya protein. Extra water. Now, let's compare. When you look at higher quality options like the lasagna from Marks Spencer, you'll notice something different: higher beef percentage, fewer additives, clearer ingredient sourcing. Cheap versions often contain over 50 of daily salt intake, saturated fat close to daily limits, minimal real beef content. And here's the real issue: it's not just unhealthy. It's unsatisfying. You finish it and still feel bloated but oddly underfed. That's not dinner. That's regret in a plastic tray. 2. Microwave mac cheese. That's mostly sauce. Mac and cheese should be comforting. Creamy. Cheesy. Indulgent. But some supermarket microwave versions? They're more like pasta swimming in neon yellow sauce. Certain budget lines from major chains, including some from Tesco, have received repeated complaints about grainy texture, overpowering artificial cheese flavor, sauce separating into oil. The ingredient list often reveals the truth: cheese flavoring, modified maize starch, flavor enhancers, real cheddar content. Sometimes shockingly low. Now compare that with fresh Stella style options or premium ranges, where actual mature cheddar percentage is clearly listed. When cheese becomes cheese flavoring, you know corners have been cut. If you want proper comfort food, this isn't it. 3. Chicken tikka masala with more sugar than you'd expect. The UK's favorite curry. Creamy. Mild, comforting. But here's what most people don't check: sugar content. Some ready meal versions of chicken tikka masala contain as much sugar as a small chocolate bar. That includes certain own brand versions found in discount chains and occasionally mid-tier ranges from Asda. Why so much sugar? To balance acidity. To enhance flavor cheaply. To compensate for lower quality ingredients. The result? Artificial sweetness, thinner sauce, less authentic spice profile. Compare that to restaurant-style versions or higher-tier supermarket collections where cream and tomato base dominate instead of added sugar. If your curry tastes suspiciously sweet, check the label. 4. The healthy, low-calorie cottage pie. That isn't filling. We've all been tempted. The packaging says, under 400 calories, high protein, low fat. Sounds perfect. But here's the catch. Some low-calorie cottage pies, particularly certain slim ranges sold in stores like Sainsbury's, achieve low-calorie counts by reducing meat, drastically increasing potato filler, using thickening agents. The result? You eat it at 6 p.m. By 8:30 p.m., you're in the kitchen again looking for biscuits. Healthy shouldn't mean unsatisfying. Balanced nutrition includes adequate protein, proper fiber, real ingredients. If it leaves you hungrier than before, it's not helping your health goals. 5. The overpriced premium shepherd's pie. Let's talk about the other extreme. The £6.50 ready meal that claims to be restaurant quality. Gold packaging. Rustic font. Farm imagery. But when you flip it over, lamb percentage, 18 bulked with lentils, high salt content. Even premium labels don't always mean premium quality. Yes, stores like Waitrose often offer genuinely high-quality ready meals, but not every product in a premium range lives up to the branding. Sometimes you're paying for packaging, not ingredients. And when you compare the cost to cooking from scratch, you could make a full shepherd's pie for a family at nearly the same price. Premium pricing should equal premium content, not just a nicer sleeve. 6. The watery spaghetti bolognese. It looks rich on the box. Deep red sauce. Thick texture. Parmesan sprinkle. But open it up, and it's more soup than sauce. Certain budget bolognese options from chains like Aldi have faced criticism for high water content, low beef percentage, excess salt. Why does this happen? Water increases weight. Weight makes it look like better value. But you're not paying for water. You're paying for flavor. And when the sauce pools at the bottom of the tray, you realize you've been sold bulk, not quality. 7. The bland vegan alternative that misses the mark. Plant-based ready meals have exploded in popularity. And some are brilliant. But others? Dry. Overprocessed. Lacking seasoning. Certain early-generation vegan meals from big retailers, including past lines from Iceland, struggled with mushy texture, excess soy protein, isolate, artificial smoky flavor. The issue isn't that they're vegan. It's that they're over-engineered. Great plant-based meals use whole vegetables, lentils, beans, proper herbs and spices. If the ingredient list reads like a science experiment, that's a red flag. 8. The family size. A meal that shrunk. Have you noticed it? The tray looks the same. The price went up. But somehow, the portion feels smaller. Shrinkflation has quietly hit ready meals across multiple UK retailers. Even established chains like Morrison's have adjusted portion sizes in recent years across certain ranges. What used to serve 4 comfortably now barely stretches to 3. Always check weight in grams, meat percentage, serving claims vs actual portion, because family size is sometimes just marketing language. Why this matters. Ready meals aren't evil. They're convenient. They save time. They help busy households. But when salt levels are excessive, sugar is hidden, meat content is minimal, portions shrink, prices rise, it becomes less about convenience and more about compromise. UK shoppers are smart. Labels are there for a reason. Turn the box around. Read the ingredients. Compare grams. Check salt per 100 g. A 2-minute label check can save you from disappointment and protect your health long-term. We've talked about the obvious problems. Watery sauces. Low meat content. Hidden sugar. Shrinkflation. But now we're going deeper. Because the real issue with some UK ready meals isn't just taste. It's what's happening behind the scenes. The hidden salt problem in UK ready meals. Let's start with something most people ignore: salt per 100 g. Many popular ready meals sold in major UK supermarkets, including ranges from Tesco and Asda, can contain 1.2 g to 1.8 g of salt per 100 g. Total meal salt hitting 3 g to 5 g. Now consider this: the UK recommended daily salt intake for adults is around 6 g per day. That means one ready meal can easily give you half or more of your daily limit. And here's the dangerous part: you probably had toast or cereal in the morning, a sandwich at lunch, maybe crisps, maybe sauce. By dinner time, you might already be near your limit. High salt intake over time contributes to high blood pressure, increased risk of heart disease, kidney strain, and ready meals are one of the biggest contributors in the UK diet. The front of the box might say, high protein, classic recipe, chef's special, but the traffic light label tells the real story. Red for salt. Red for saturated fat. Always check the side panel, not the marketing. The illusion of made with British beef. You've seen it. A Union Jack symbol. Made with British beef. Rustic countryside imagery. Sounds reassuring. But here's the catch. made with British beef doesn't always mean high percentage of beef premium cut fresh sourcing. It can still contain 15 to 25 beef water fillers, stabilizing agents. Even premium style meals in retailers like Sainsbury's and Morrison sometimes list surprisingly modest meat percentages when you look closely. It's not illegal. It's just clever wording. The difference between made with British beef and contains 40 British beef is enormous. One sounds comforting. The other tells you the truth. Ultra-processed ingredients you're probably ignoring. Let's decode some common ready meal ingredients. Modified maize starch, xanthan gum, sodium nitrite, flavor enhancers, E621, E635, hydrolyzed vegetable protein. Are they approved? Yes. Are they dangerous in small amounts? Not necessarily. But here's the issue. When multiple ultra-processed ingredients stack up in one meal, you're no longer eating food close to its natural form. Some frozen ready meals from chains like Iceland have historically leaned heavily on stabilizers and texture enhancers to maintain structure after freezing. The result? Sauce feels artificially thick, meat texture feels rubbery, vegetables lose freshness. It's engineered food, not cooked food. There's a difference. When low fat means high sugar, here's a trick food manufacturers use. If you reduce fat, you often need to increase something else. That something else is usually sugar, starch, sweeteners. Certain lighter choice meals sold across multiple UK supermarkets, including budget lines in Aldi, compensate for reduced fat by increasing carbohydrates and flavor enhancers. The meal ends up less satisfying, more blood sugar spiking. Less balanced. Fat isn't always the enemy. Excess sugar and ultra-processing often are. Portion sizes. The quiet reduction shrinkflation deserves its own section. Let's say a lasagna used to weigh for 50 g. Now it's 400 g. The packaging looks nearly identical. Price? Up 20 to 30. This has quietly happened across several UK chains, including premium ranges in Waitrose. Individually, 50 g doesn't sound like much. But across a family household buying ready meals weekly? That's less food, higher cost, lower value, and because most shoppers look at price, not gram weight, it goes unnoticed. Always compare price per 100 g. That number tells the real story. The texture test, what your mouth already knows. Have you ever noticed this? Some ready meals feel slimy, mushy, overly soft. That's often due to rehydrated ingredients, repeated freezing cycles, excess stabilizers. Fresh cooked food has contrast, soft meat, firm vegetables, layered texture. Overprocessed ready meals blur everything into one uniform consistency. Your mouth recognizes quality before your brain does. If everything feels the same, something's off. The marketing psychology behind it. Ready meals are designed to trigger comfort, nostalgia, convenience, emotional safety. You're not just buying food. You're buying relief after a long day, ease, zero effort. That's powerful. Brands in major supermarkets like Marks, Spencer, and Tesco understand this extremely well. Which is why packaging often shows steam rising, golden crust, rustic kitchen backgrounds, words like slow cooked, but the reality: mass-produced in large facilities. Rapid chilled. Standardized recipes. It's not bad. But it's not grandma's kitchen either. The cost comparison that might shock you. Let's break it down. Average premium ready meal, £5 to £6. Ingredients to make similar meal at home: 500 g minced tin of tomatoes, onion, garlic, pasta or potatoes, often totals £6 to £8. But feeds 3 to 4 people with leftovers. One ready meal feeds one, sometimes two lightly. Convenience is expensive. And when quality isn't high, it feels even worse. So, should you avoid all ready meals? No. Not all ready meals are bad. Some are balanced, properly portioned, made with high meat content, lower in salt, but the ones you should never buy again are those that overpromise and underdeliver. Hide poor ingredient ratios, load salt or sugar, shrink portions, quietly rely heavily on artificial stabilizers. A simple four-step check before you buy. Next time you're in the chilled aisle, check salt per 100 g, aim for under 1.2 g if possible. Look at meat percentage. Anything under 20 in a meat-based meal is questionable. Compare weight to price. Read the first 5 ingredients, they tell you everything. It takes 30 seconds. But it changes everything.